Hello students, last time we started the lesson number 5 acid, bases and salts. We learned last time definition of ionic bonds, electronic configuration of some ionic compounds, then definitions of dissociation, acid, base, strong and weak acid and bases, basicity of acid and acidity of bases. Clear? Today we continue the next point, that is concentration of acids, acid and base. Now alongside figure, see what is given. Cut a lemon into two equal parts. Take the juice of each part into two separate beakers. Pour 10 ml of drinking water in one beaker. In one beaker 10 ml and 20 ml water in second. This is the first beaker A, this is second beaker B. Now stir the solution in both the beakers and test them. Is there any difference in the taste of the solution in the two beakers? And what is that difference? This is a simple example for your understanding purpose, that is what is meant by concentration. Now in this above activity, the sour taste of solution is because of the solute. Which is more quantity here? So water. So water is act as here solvent. And what we added in it in a less proportion, that is a lemon juice. So lemon juice is a solute. Remember this word, solvent and solute. Which is more, that is called as solvent, which is less, that is called as solute. So water is different, means solvent is different, but solute, that is lemon juice, is same. Now check that. So in that above activity, the sour taste of the solution is because of the solute lemon juice in them. The quantity of the lemon juice is the same in both the solutions, yet their taste is different. Why? Because solvent is different. In first beaker A, only 10 ml water is taken, and in second 20 ml. That's why taste is different, obviously. The solution in the first beaker is more, underline this is final result. So the solution in the first beaker is more sour than one of the second. Why is it so? Are you getting the answer of this question? Because solvent is different and solute is same. In less solvent in first beaker, that is the A beaker, that solution we are getting the more sour taste than the second beaker B. Clear? Next. Now, although the quantity of the solute is the same in both the solutions, the quantity of solvent is different. All are getting? So ratio of the quantity of solute to the quantity of the resulting solution is different. So this ratio is larger for the solutions in the first beaker, and therefore that solution tastes more sour. On the other hand, the proportion of the lemon juice in the total solution in the second beaker is smaller. That's why the taste is less sour. The taste of the foodstuff depend upon. We are getting the different taste of the different foodstuffs. So this taste of foodstuff depends upon, underline, the nature of the taste giving ingredients and its a proportion in that foodstuff. Similarly, all the properties of a solution depends on nature of the solute and solvent, and also on the proportion of the solute in the solution. Very important. Clear? All the properties of a solution depends on two factors. Which are of that two factor? Which is the first one? The first one is the nature of the solute and solvent, and second on the proportion of the solute in the solution. Clear all of you? The proportion of a solute in a solution, mark this now, The proportion of a solute in a solution is called as concentration of solute in the solution. What is meant by define concentration of the solute? So answer of this question is this bracket. Make the bracket in your textbook. Now, when the concentration of the solute in its solution is high, it is a concentrated solution, while solution is called as a dilute solution when the concentration of the solute is less or low. Less the solute in a solution, that is called as a dilute one. More the concentration of the solution means what? That is a more quantity of solute in that solution, that is called as concentrated one. So underline these two sentences also. Now several units are used to express the concentration of solute. Two of these units are used more frequently. Which is the first one? The first unit is the mass of solute in gram dissolved in 1 liter of the solution, that is called as gram per liter, indicated as G per capital L, means gram per liter. And the second unit is the number of moles of the solute dissolved in 1 liter of the solution. Now this mole concept we learned in the previous lesson. This is also called molarity of the solution. Clear all of you? Second unit is number of moles of the solute dissolved in 1 liter of solution. It's also called molarity, indicated as a capital M of the solution. The molarity of the solute is indicated by writing its molecular formula inside a square bracket. How we are represent the molarity? That is, for example, given here NaCl. In square bracket, that NaCl is written. Why that is written in square bracket? Because molarity of the substance indicated in this square bracket only. That line is given here, so is equal to what? 1. So molarity of NaCl equal to 1 means what? So molarity of this solution of a common salt is what? 1 molar. Capital M means what here? Check. Capital M means what? 1 molar. All are getting this first concept? Yes. So question, define molarity. What is the question given here? Define molarity. So where is the answer? On the page, on this page, you see in the last line, last paragraph. Start from here. The number of moles of the solute dissolved in 1 liter of a solution is called molarity of the solution. Define molarity of the solution. So answer of this question that is given here. Next. Now in this table given some examples. Now complete the following table of concentration of various aqueous solution. Now first column is given here, solute, quantity of solute, then volume of solution and concentration of solution. Some columns are given here. Check that carefully. Now first example given here, sodium chloride. So the name of solute is sodium chloride. What is molecular formula? All of you know that, NaCl. What is the molecular mass of this NaCl? Last time we calculate this, that is 58.5 U means Dalton. Clear? Molecular mass measured in Dalton. Next, second column, quantity of solute. Suppose 117 grams solute dissolved. So this molecular mass is called as 1 mole. So what is the relation between 58.5 and 117? So it is a double. That's why 117 gram of NaCl means sodium chloride means 2 mole. Clear? So that quantity given here, liter. Next column, volume of solution. So 2 liter solution is given here. So 1 mole is dissolved in 2 liter. 2 mole of sodium chloride dissolved in 2 liter. What is the meaning of this? So answer is 58.5 gram per liter. 2 mole in 2 liter. So in 1 liter how many moles? 1 in 1 liter 1 mole, and 1 mole means nothing but molecular mass of sodium chloride. So that solution is called, so 58.5 gram of sodium chloride dissolved in 1 liter means what? 1 molar solution. Same way you try to calculate the answer of remaining 2. Clear? Next point. The pH of the pH of solution. We have seen that acids and bases dissociates to a smaller or a larger extent on dissolving in water, forming H plus and OH minus ions separately. H plus means hydrogen ion, OH minus means hydroxyl ions are found in a different proportion in all natural aqueous solutions, and that determine the properties of those solutions. Check here some examples given for us. For example, in the given table, the proportion of H plus and OH minus ions divide soil into acidic, neutral and basic type of soil. It is necessary for this concentration or number of proportion of hydrogen ion and hydroxyl ion necessary for blood, cell sap, etc. to have H plus and OH minus ions in certain definite proportion for their proper functioning. Fermentation carried out with the help of microorganisms, other biochemical processes and also many chemical processes require the proportion of H plus and OH minus ions to be maintained within the certain limits. Pure water undergoes dissociation to a very small extent and give rise to H plus and OH minus ion in equal proportion. That reaction is given here. Check that. Water. Which water is this? That is a pure water. All are getting? So pure water undergoes dissociation to a very small extent. So after dissociation, what happened? Hydrogen ion and OH minus means hydroxyl ions are formed. Due to this property of water to undergo dissociation, there exist both hydrogen and OH minus means hydroxyl ion in any aqueous solution. However, their concentration may be different. Now see in this table, pH of some common aqueous solutions given here. Check that. Strong acid, that is 1 molar HCl. pH of this strong acid is 0. Gastric juices, approximate pH is given 1. Lemon juice, pH is 2.5. Vinegar 3. Tomato juice 4.1. Black coffee 5. Acid rain 5.6. Urine, check that. Urine is a weak acid and approximate pH is 6, which is a neutral substances, rain, milk, etc. So approximate pH is what? Check that. 6.5 or approximate 7. Even pure water, sugar solution exactly showing the pH 7. Next, weak bases start from blood. So approximate pH of our blood is what? 7.4. So pH value increases. So what happened? Basicity means strength of base increases. What is the next example given? Solution of baking soda, approximate pH 8.5. Toothpaste, approximate pH 9.5. Milk of magnesia 10.5, lime water 11 and strong base 1 molar NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide solution, shows pH 14. So what is the range? 0 to 14. So with the help of this pH scale, we easily identify the given substance is related to strong acid or weak acid, strong base or weak base. Yeah, neutral substance is given that. See in the next point now. The concentration of hydrogen ions formed by dissociation of water at 25 degrees Celsius is 1 into 10 raised to 7 what? Mole per liter. At the same temperature, the concentration of hydrogen ion in 1 molar solution of HCl is 1 into 10 raised to 0 mole per liter. 1 molar solution of HCl, so approximate pH is what? 0. 1 into 10 raised to 0 means 0. 0 multiplied by 1 means what? 0. Clear? That is given in previous table. While in a 1 molar NaOH solution, the concentration of H plus ion is 1 into 10 raised to minus 14 mole per liter. So that is very, very less. Thus, we see that in a common aqueous solution, the range of H plus ion concentration is very wide from 10 raised to 0 to 10 raised to minus 14 mole per liter. In 1909, the Danish scientist Sorensen introduced a convenient new scale of expressing hydrogen ion concentration, which is found to be very useful in chemical and biochemical processes. So that scale is called as pH scale. It is a pH scale. What is the meaning of pH? P means nothing but power of, and H means hydrogen. So power of hydrogen, strength of hydrogen ions in a given sample solution. The pH scale extends from 0 to 14. According to this scale, pure water has a pH 7. Underline, pure water has a pH of 7, meaning pure water has, what is the molarity? H plus ion concentration square bracket is equal to 1 into 10 raised to minus 7 mole per liter. pH 7 indicate a neutral solution. This pH is the midpoint of the scale. The pH of an acidic solution is less than 7. Underline, pH of an acidic solution is less than 7 and that of basic solution is greater than 7. The table see page number 63, means previous page, gives the pH values of some common solutions. Already we learned that. By which other method could we find out the pH of a solution? So second method is by using a universal indicator. So on this previous point, we write one question, that is write a short note on pH scale. That is a question. First of all, you try to write down the answer. I will give the answer in our assignment solution. Next one, universal indicators. Can you recall what are the colors of the following natural and synthetic indicators in acidic and basic solution? Litmus, turmeric, jamun, methyl orange, phenolphthalein. Now I will show the answer of this question, can you recall, on one separate paper. Check now. That is a question. Now indicators, so we are writing the answer in the form of table. Indicators, color in acidic solution and in basic solution. Litmus paper. Litmus paper shows the red color in acidic solution and blue in basic solution. Turmeric shows yellow color in acidic solution and red in basic solution. Jamun, red color shows in acidic solution and blue-green color shows in basic solution. Methyl orange shows the red color in acidic solution and yellow color in what? Basic solution. And last one, phenolphthalein shows the color colorless, no color in acidic solution but pink in basic solution. So this table is important one. You remember the colors of this indicator in acidic or in basic solution. Remember this color. Next, come back to the page. Okay. Now next, we know that some natural and synthetic dyes show two different colors in acid and basic solutions, and such dyes are used as acid-base indicator. In the pH scale, in the pH scale, the pH of the solution varies from 0 to 14, that is indicated here from 0 to here 14. Next, in accordance with the strength of acid or base. To show this variation in pH, a universal indicator is used. A universal indicator shows different colors in different values of pH. So with the help of this pH scale, easily we find out the given sample is acidic or basic or neutral. 0 to 0 to up to 6, that is shows the acidic in nature. Exact 7 means neutral, and more than 7 up to 14 means what? Basic type of solution of a given sample. Next one. A universal indicator is made by mixing several synthetic indicators in specific proportion. So question is asked related to this point. Question is, how is made a universal indicator? So what is the answer? The first line is the answer. Question is, how is made a universal indicator? So answer is, a universal indicator is made by mixing several synthetic indicators in specific proportion. Next, the pH of a solution can be determined by means of universal indicator solution or by using the pH paper made from it. By using with the help of universal indicator solution, pH paper is a form. So we are using solution or pH paper. However, the most accurate method of measuring the pH of a solution is to use an electrical instrument called as what? Underline pH meter. So mark the answer. What is pH meter? So that is the answer. What is pH meter? The most accurate method of measuring the pH of a solution is to use an electrical instrument called pH meter. Now in this method, pH is measured by dipping electrodes into the solution. See in this diagram, pH meter is showing here. So that electrodes are dipped in that solution, testing solution, sample solution, and values are obtained here in pH meter. Check that values. So according to that values, we are find out so given sample solution is acidic, basic or neutral. Clear? One more question is given for your homework, that is distinguish between acids and bases. 2 mark question, then you write 4 points in each column. 1 correct point you are getting half mark. Clear all of you? Next point is reactivity of acids and bases. First type is given neutralization. Do this. Take 10 ml dilute hydrochloric HCl. HCl means hydrochloric acid in a beaker. Use a glass rod to put a drop of this solution on a pH paper and record the pH of the solution. Observe which color is observed on that pH paper. You match with the help of pH scale and find out approximate pH. Add to it a few drops of dilute NaOH solution by means of a dropper and stir the solution with a glass rod. Measure the pH of resulting solution by putting a drop of the solution on another pH paper. In this manner, go on adding dilute NaOH drop by drop and record the pH. What do you find? Stop the adding NaOH when a green color appears on the pH paper. That is when the pH of the solution becomes 7. If we observe the green color on the paper, it shows that pH of that solution becomes what? 7. Means neutralization reaction takes place. Acid react with base. NaOH is a sodium hydroxide. It is act as what? Base. And HCl is what? Acid, hydrochloric acid. So reaction takes place between acid and base, then to form neutral substances like a salt and water. So this type of reaction is called as what? Neutralization reaction. The neutralization reaction. Why does the pH increases as NaOH solution is added drop by drop to the HCl solution? The answer lies in the process of dissociation. Both HCl and NaOH dissociates in their aqueous solutions. Addition of NaOH solution to HCl solution is like adding large concentration of OH minus ions to a large concentration of H plus ions. However, water dissociates into H plus and OH minus ions to a very small extent. Therefore, on mixing, the excess OH minus ions combine with excess H plus ions to form H2O molecule, which mix with the solvent water. This change can be represented by the ionic equation. You see this video carefully, read again and again what explanation is given here. Now that change can be represented by the ionic equation. Now see that. H plus Cl minus, Na plus OH minus. So these ions are formed from the hydrochloric acid. These two ions are formed from the NaOH, means sodium hydroxide. It is an acid, it is a base. Then what happened? This positive negative ion exchange. This positive ion hydrogen is react with negative of OH, then to form HOH, means water, and Na plus react with what? Cl minus, then forming the Na plus Cl minus, means sodium chloride. NaCl is commonly called as common salt. Then salt and water is formed. It can be seen from the above equation that Na plus and Cl minus ions are on the both the sides, on left hand side also and right hand side also. Clear? Therefore, the net ionic reaction is H plus OH minus, then to form H2O, watery form. As the NaOH solution is added drop by drop to the HCl solution, the concentration of H, underline, very important, the concentration of hydrogen ion goes on decreasing due to combination with added OH minus ion, because in NaOH which ions are present? OH minus ions, and thus and that is how the pH goes on increasing 0 to up to 7, up to pH 7. So it is acidity or acidic nature is decreases, and exactly pH 7 means neutralization takes place. When even NaOH is added to HCl, the resulting aqueous solution contains only Na plus and Cl minus ions, that is NaCl, sodium chloride, that is the salt, common salt, and the solvent water. The only source of H plus and OH minus ion in this solution is a dissociation of water. Therefore, this reaction is called as what? Neutralization reaction. Question is asked, define neutralization reaction. So how to write the answer? A chemical reaction. Listen carefully, what is the answer? A chemical reaction in which an acid and a base react quantitatively with each other to produce salt and water is called neutralization reaction, that is indicated here. All are getting? So acid react with base, then to form salt and water. Reaction takes place between hydrochloric acid and NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide, acid base reaction. That's why this reaction is called as what? Neutralization reaction. This is one example of neutralization reaction. Complete the following table of neutralization reaction and also write down the names of the acid, base and salt in it. So you prepare this table in your notebook carefully. I will show the first one. HNO3, nitric acid. Which base is used here? We don't know. And HNO3 means nitric acid. So bases react with nitric acid then to form KNO3, that is a potassium nitrate, and H2 means water. So see there, H2O is splitting like this, H plus and OH minus, that is the water, that is showing in above reaction. So what is present in HNO3? with the help of radicals that we learned in previous lesson, check that chart is very carefree. That HNO3 means H plus and NO3 minus. So out of these two, what is present on the right hand side? Check now. Hydrogen ion present, yes, that is present in water. NO3 present here. Now this KNO3 means potassium nitrate also we split, that is a K plus and NO3 minus. So what is NO3 present on right hand side? Yes. What is remain now? So K plus and OH minus. So what is the base is used here? KOH. What is the name of this? That you also find with the help of radical table. K means potassium and OH means hydroxide, potassium hydroxide. So write the name of this, enter here KOH, and below that what we write? Here write the KOH, make the box to it, and write down the below it what? Potassium hydroxide. Like this way you find out the answer at these blank spaces. Make the boxes and write down the names there. Clear? I will show the answer of this table in our assignment. So this is your today's assignment number 15. Define concentration of solute, question number 13. Then next, define molarity. Write a short note on pH scale with the help of diagram you draw. I will show the answer in our assignment. Now, how is made a universal indicator? What is pH meter? Distinguish between acids and bases. Define neutralization, and question number 20 means complete this table. Clear, all of you are getting? Yes. So today what we learn? Today we learn about the concentration of acids and bases and pH scale and neutralization. These three important points we learned today's lecture. All are getting? Thank you.